Three main reasons to answer your question. And it's a good question. As you can see, there are some comments of people saying that they've had these before, apparently survived to tell about it. So what gives? Number one is hot spots and cold spots. So you have to think of these pills as like a chocolate chip cookie. People that make these, they're not doing a very scientific mix. These aren't professional laboratories or pharmaceutical grade. So some parts of the pill may have much higher concentrations of the phenanyl. I have to spell it or they block the video. Areas that have really high concentrations can have enough to knock somebody out forever, quickly. We call those hot spots. And then the areas that don't have that much, or some have none at all, and people will say like, oh, I got a dud, like it had nothing in it, just the filler, that would be a cold spot. So kind of like a chocolate chip cookie where the chocolate chips would be the hot spot. And that is why it's super important, if you do insist on taking these, to test not only one out of the batch, but the whole pill, every pill. Second reason would simply be people's tolerance. So as you can see, there are people commenting that this is something that they use regularly. So these people may have a tolerance where they could take a considerable amount of drugs and not overdose. That's the nature of addiction, is that you use more and more and more, and that you don't get the same effect. So that includes some of the negative effects, like not breathing. So, I wish everybody would be able to live to recover, but the one thing about this that worries me the most is the unsuspecting teen who thinks they're getting something else and they have no tolerance, and they try something like this and it ends their life. And it happens a lot. It's really sad. So number one was hot spots and cold spots. Number two is tolerance. And then number three could just be body mass, right? So no matter what a poison is, the poison is in the dose, right? So if a certain amount of, micrograms per kilogram is enough to cause overdose, then somebody who's 100 kilograms would have a higher threshold for overdose than somebody who's 80 kilograms. So that's where sometimes you'll see a couple and the guy falls asleep, wakes up, and the girl is gone. And, assuming that he was bigger than her, that could be kind of what happens, unfortunately. So hopefully this answered your question. I'm sure we could go into even more reasons as far as metabolism, other medications that they're taking, whether it's alcohol or benzos. Those kind of medications can certainly increase your risk of death. Things like sleep apnea, anything that makes you less likely to breathe well, body habitus, neck size, obesity. I mean, there's a lot of other factors, but I would say those are the three big ones. I hope this helps. Stay safe out there, guys.